Hi everyone, welcome. This is part one of my Ellie Marks color along. This will be, I'm going to do in Prismacolor just because there's a couple of things I want to show you on this page. This one is a little late getting out. I did this one a couple times just practicing and I had a hard time deciding what colors I wanted to do on it. But I think I am going to go with a darker Halloween feel just because it is going to be October and so yeah, I'm going to pull my grays first. So I'm going to go black, 70% cool gray, and 20% cool gray. So I will pull you in and get started. Okay, so quickly I'm just going to show you, I'm going to do the big part of the picture right here, just to kind of show you what my plan is and how I'm going to set the tone for it. So I'm going to turn my page a little so you can kind of see what I'm doing, but I'm not going to color in the circles. I'm going to go around all of those. And once I show you kind of how I'm going to do it, I might hyperlapse in speed color. Sorry, I had a weird tip on it. It was not cooperating. I must have broke a side of it off. So you can always also, do this with marker. Just be aware that sometimes alcohol markers, depending on how juicy they are, will run into your smaller spaces. Which is why I decided to go with pencil for this. So I am not going to go like gory or satanic or anything, but I am going to go a darker theme. And I decided black because I think a lot of people sometimes get a little afraid of their black pencil. So we're just kind of work it a little and see how it goes. If you want to do purple or blue or orange or regular house colors, you can follow along. Just know that black will be my dark color and my 20% light gray will be my lightest. So just substitute those for whatever you choose to do. I thought about going purple, but then I was like, let's go spooky. Let's make it a witching hour night. So another thing you might want to decide before you get started is if you want a day or a night scene. Now, it is a witch's house, and there's clouds and an owl, but she didn't actually give us a moon or anything. And we have this witch up here that we might want to stand out. So, and if your pumpkins and your windows you want to glow, you might want to do a night scene. So just things to think about as you're picking your colors. You know, some people just kind of pick them willy-nilly, which is fine, but sometimes if I don't have kind of an idea of what I'm going for, when I get to the end, I get in a pickle. So I do like to plan just a little. Also going to try to keep these somewhat symmetric. So they don't have to be exactly the same, but I kind of want to keep the same shape so it's not too lopsided here. Hopefully my background is not too loud. I recorded this once and then I did a sky and I didn't like it. And now all the kids are home, but I still wanted to get part one up because I know there's quite a few of you that are waiting for me to get started, so you have a weekend project. So here we are. Okay, so take your time going around doing that nicely. Also going to darken this corner a little bit. I want the corners nice and dark. Another cool thing about black is you can come in with your white gel pen, you can add spiders or spider webs or ghosts or whatever you feel necessary. Okay, so the next part is going to be a little trickier. This is the same black pencil. I'm just swapping because for some reason this tip is weird. And I don't want you to have to try to watch me fight it I'm trying to show you. So I'm just going to swap to this one that has a nice tip on it here. And I will fix that one off camera. So I'm not really worrying about shadows because for one, it is a black house. But I do not want to lose these symbols in the black house. So I am going around them. And then hopefully when I get my other colors put in, these little symbols will stand out. I haven't decided what color I'm making these yet. Let's see what the rest of the colors on the house end up being. Sorry, I thought someone pulled up here. That would be my luck. Get all the kids quieted down, the neighborhood's actually quiet, the dog isn't barking, and then someone would show up. Okay, I am going to bring this black down just a little here. Just help with the creep vibe is all. Okay, make sure we leave a little fuzzy edge to blend into everything else. I am not going to bring this shadow up around the head of my bat because I want him to stand out. So I looked out of curiosity because this page has been a freebie for a while. And I have not seen, I've seen one colored version. That was the only one I found. So I was like, maybe this one will be a good one to tackle. It was a little intimidating for me as well. Just trying to pick colors and make sense of everything going on the page. Okay. So I know this is not the most exciting part of the page, all black here, but okay. So we've got everything outlined. I forgot a couple circles on this side. Don't know how I did that in this one. Okay. Also going to shoot down here. And I'm going to darken around this. I'm going to make sure not to color in any of those circles. And it's going to be super black down here because it's shadow area. Now the black around these circles or lights or whatever they're supposed to be right here, I will darken, but I'm going to color them in first. So I'm not going to worry about that part just yet. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So this will probably be a rather short video to get you started, just because it is mainly just getting all the black in. And it's very repetitive. Make sure you get these open spaces down here in your leaves. Just helps add a little depth and feel like you can see through them a little. Okay. Making sure I keep with that fuzzy edge. Little for just a second here. Going around all these circles. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so next in my gray combination, and let's go ahead and show you this real quick. I chose to go black, 70% cool gray. So I went blue grays, not brown grays like the French grays or the warm grays, and then 20%. And so when you get these three together, I feel like they look nice and spooky. But if you want to test your different grays, you know, you can go black. This one is warm gray. This one is warm gray. So it really depends on the vibe of gray if you're wanting to go. But I'll show you Start down here where it's a little easier to see in the smaller spots. I'm going right over my black and out a little bit, leaving a gap. I'm not filling in the gap. Oh, colored my pole. Don't do that. Okay, same thing over here. I feel like this gives it a really nice spooky vibe. I don't know why. It's like foggy, misty color, but so over the black and out a little. And let me sure I grab my cool gray and not the warm gray, now that I pulled all of those. Okay. And then circle motions in the middle. I'm not touching my black. I don't want to smear it. And if you feel like this is too white, not gray enough, you just lightly add another layer. Okay. Small circular motions. And just a little more right here. And then I'm not going to do this all the way through, but right now anyway, but at the end when I have it all blended, I will come back and I will just darken up this black. And we should get a nice effect like that. And I feel like that feels Halloween-y. Again, if you are doing this with different colors, this will be your light purple or brown or whatever color you chose for your Halloween house. This is a Victorian Halloween. This book is also, or page is also in her book, Victoriana. I pulled it, but I decided I didn't want to color in my book because that book doesn't like my Prismacolors all that much, for me, anyway. I'm just kind of blending that black a little I put in there. So I'm doing it on cardstock, but it is in her book Victoriana if you have it. Or I posted the link to the freebie as well, so everyone can join. Again, just kind of touching up a couple spots here real quick I don't love. There we go. And this will come together a little more when we get the sky in as well. But now we're going to do the big section. So to keep symmetry, I'm going to go in the corner, across the bottom, and up. And I'm not going to get perfect with it, but I'm going to eyeball it a little. So before I blend or anything, I'm just going to check my grays here. Okay, then I'm going to go up around. Everywhere I put black, I'm going to hit a tiny dot of this gray, even if it's not a whole lot. But I don't want to go from black straight to 20% gray, because that is going to be a very harsh jump. We want that nice gradient. Okay, so we're going to put a little gray in here. I'm going to make sure I get under him. And I'm going to do a little bit around the top of his wings. Have a nice triangle highlight right there. Check out my circles. And this is just all about kind of outlining everything before we blend it. There's not really going to be a highlight right here, but I want to make sure I have it the same on both sides. Circle. Okay. Again, leave a nice 20% gray is a super soft Prisma, so it will blend whether you leave this little fuzzy area or not, but it's habit, so I do it anyway. Okay, and then 20%, trying not to touch our black as much as possible. Let's gonna start blending inward. So I do it a nice blend, so I'm gonna take my time. But I'm not going to touch that black. If I can see the white in the black, which I can, that's when I'll come back over at the end and either do the gray or hit it with the black again. I do not want to drag my black into my light, which is a little tricky in a couple of these spots, because it will make it murky, and we'll lose that highlight feel. Blend, blend, blend. Trying not to touch that black. You can see I hit it a little right there, of course. But I'm not going to keep going over it and dragging it out anymore. Turning a little. Okay. These little areas over here. And I can see a couple spots I gotta touch up. I'm just gonna not do it with this pencil. Just gonna get these in first. Okay, and then you will just go around and adjust to your liking. So I'm not going to do it right now, because that will take me a little bit to go back over everything. That is kind of our beginning stage. I am going to fix this spot right here and darken down here where you can definitely see the white. The rest I will fix off before we come back. Alright, so this, I haven't decided, but I might bring some purples in. So this will be a different color, these will be a different color. These I'm going to do as stained glass. I haven't decided if I want to do these as wood or not. So I think what I might do is I might come in, and I'll just show you a couple real quick. The same colors I did the house. I'm going to go very light on the 20% though, just at the very tip, like where she has dots on the edges of the shingles, just right there is the only spot I'm going to highlight. So it should look something like that when we're done. And so when we come back next time, I will have the shingles put in as well. I will show you a few of them, but that way you don't have to watch me spend a whole half hour putting shingles in. So I'm coming straight up to that line. I'm putting in my black where the shadows would be around the other shingles. My 50% straight up to that line. And then blending the end of it with that 20%. And then after, if you feel like you lost any of your shadows, you just come back with your black. And that should give us some spooky shingles that match our house. Again, you can do these brown, whatever color. Purple would look cool. But because it's got a bat and she's a witch, I'm going dark. I'm just going to shadow that one in completely. And this one right here. Now these ones up here are going to have the shadow up here on them. But I'm going to do the same thing all the way up to that curve line. Alright, so that is our house and shingles, how they will go. I'm not going to put the sky in just yet. So I'm going to go ahead and stop right there for now. And then I will be back with part 2, and we will start getting some of the details in and these flowers and sky and things out of the way. But that way everyone can get started on their base colors for the project. Because it took me a half hour just to do this little bit, and I still have 2 sides of shingles to go. So I think it's a good stopping point and let everybody get their base colors in. Questions, comments, suggestions, things you would like to see, leave them down below. And I hope to see you for part 2 of our Victorian Halloween. Thanks for watching.